Hello everyone, welcome back to On The Fly. Today we are going to take a look at a trade between the Carolina Hurricanes and the Vancouver Canucks. So the Canucks do receive Ethan Bear at 18% retained, as well as Lane Pederson in exchange for a 2023 fifth round pick. So in this deal, it is an interesting deal with the Hurricanes getting rid of a defenseman, right shot D, and if you remember back to yesterday, the Canucks did indeed get rid of their quote-unquote top right-handed defenseman and deal with the Bruins to acquire Jack Studnicka. So it is an interesting move. They are getting another young right-handed shot defenseman. Arbitration eligible at the end of the year. He's going to be valued in at 1.8, but his contract is 2.2, but with the retained salary. Carolina's going to retain roughly $400K of that 2.2. So it's only going to cost the Canucks 1.8 to keep him around. So as Lane Pederson, who with Lane Pederson, I wouldn't necessarily expect him to be a top-end player with the Canucks. Rather, he wasn't very good with the Hurricanes. He didn't really see much ice time, but it is definitely a depth move if they do need to come to it. Lane Pederson is not going to be your worst fourth-line AHL player that you'll ever see, but of course he's not going to be a high-end player, which is understandable why he's in this deal. And with Ethan Bear, it is an interesting move for the Canucks, trading away a prospect and then acquiring someone who sort of fits the shoes of an early stage prospect. And for me, I don't really think he's a high-end player, but he is going to be sort of that lockdown role that I think the Canucks are looking for, especially right now. They finally did win a game last night, so the curse has been broken. However, I don't know if Ethan Bear is the first piece of many to fall. I do expect the Canucks to definitely be active, because right now they're sort of stuck in the middle of, do they want to contend or do they want to rebuild? I do expect them to contend because they do have quite a bit of a prospect pool. Definitely the ability to sort of trade those pieces away and get some better players. Definitely shore up that back end, which is sort of lacking right now. And as for the Hurricanes, getting rid of a $1.8 million contract for a bench player, not a bad move for them at all. Lane Pederson isn't going to hurt them that much, nor he would even start. He probably would not even started with the Hurricanes. So really, it's a bench piece and shedding cap is what you're really looking at right now for the Hurricanes. So when we take a look at the trade grade, for me, I'm going to give the Hurricanes probably around a B. It is unfortunate they have to retain that salary. I think if they would have got really anything else, if they would have been able to not have to retain salary, I think it would have been a little bit higher. But at the same time, you're getting rid of a $2.2 billion contract for essentially a bench player. You are probably going to have to retain some salary. And in this case, for the Hurricanes, a fifth-round pick isn't terrible. But for the Vancouver Canucks, I am going to give them an A. I think this is a pretty good steal overall for the Canucks. Being able to retain that salary, too, is definitely going to help them out if they do decide to contend this year. Whether or not they do, who knows. But at the end of the day, I think the Canucks definitely have the pieces to definitely be able to contend. And one thing I will note here, especially for the Hurricanes, one of the big factors of this deal is the arbitration eligible for Ethan Bear, which basically means that he is allowed to shed or ask for as much money as he wants, and then there's an arbitrator in the middle sort of to be able to tell what is fair for both sides. So I think that was one of the big reasons for this deal with the Hurricanes. Aside from the fact he wasn't playing, if the Hurricanes got stuck with a bad contract, especially with the team they have right now, is not going to help them out that much. So that is the trade grade for the two teams. But with that, if you made it this far in the video, thank you for watching. If you liked it, drop a like. If you really like it, consider subscribing. Tell all your friends, leave a comment down below your thoughts on the video. Until next time.